Hi, my name is Martin Higginson and I'm the Chief Executive of Huddled Group PLC. Today I wanted to spend a few minutes talking about stock and the relationship that has to being this sort of circular business that I spoke about last week, and how sustainability plays a key part in us getting stock at the right price. For us, like many businesses, stock is absolutely paramount to our success, and it's where everything starts. And this really is about having the right stock and the right quantity of the right stock. So just to give you some examples of what that means and how important it is, last week in Discount Dragon, we sold 1,900 packs of twirl bars in 24 hours, which was great, but then we ran out and we had to get more stock. Now, this is where it really worked incredibly well with the team. They managed to get more stock in, and midweek we sold 1,254 bars in the same sort of 24-hour period. And that was really the business working in harmony and getting stock in and getting it out of the back door. The same applies to NutriCircle. We had the right level of stock of protein bars, and we got a big delivery in mid-month. And that resulted in over 900 orders in just one day, really demonstrating to us getting the right stock and the right quantity of stock, how it just lights up the Christmas tree in terms of orders and our customers engaging with us. And again, the same applies to Boot Beauty. I've spoken about how important perfumes are to us and the importance of those in the mix as we move forward. And to give you an example, we had Prada perfume in recently, and we only had 173 bottles, but we put those out on a flash sale and they sold out within under 2 hours. So hopefully that gives you some indication of how important the right stock is, and how when we get the right stock in, we can sell it through very, very quickly. And selling it through very, very quickly is really important. Aged stock costs money, and it costs money, for us in just it being left around and we're having to discount it. But more importantly, it costs money if you're in, say, for argument's sake, a third-party logistics warehouse, which many e-commerces are. Now, if it's in a third-party logistics warehouse in exactly the same way as any wholesaler or anything, the longer it stays in that warehouse, the more it costs the manufacturer money. So for every additional month, it will cost them rent. And then that gets to 2 months and 3 months. Now they're paying a substantive amount of rent on stock that they haven't been able to sell through, or haven't been able to sell through at the right volume. It may be that they've oversupplied. Maybe they expected it to sell greater than it did. But for whatever reason, it's actually costing them money for that stock to be on the floor. Now they've now got two choices. Either they can throw it away. If they throw it away, that doesn't really sort of hit the whole ESG tick box. And this is where the relationship with sustainability and stock and Huddled comes into play. Because we can actually offer that supplier, look, don't throw it away, don't take it out of that 3PL warehouse, don't send it away to Africa or Asia, sell it to us, and sell it to us at a sensible price. Now, when you start building in the likes of transport, middlemen, etc., the manufacturer ends up with a tiny fraction. In selling to us and us moving up the food chain, we can pay that tiny fraction. We can then pass that on to our consumers, and because it's the right stock at the right price, it sells quickly. But that also helps us improve margin. So look, sustainability and stock, but more importantly, the right stock, are really important. And it's important how all of these things interact and help us to deliver great stock to the customers at the right price. Now, what we've got to focus in on is getting more of the right stock, making sure it comes in a timely manner, making sure that we've got the right depth of stock. And that's what we're really focused on now. And we're starting to see that coming through. And some of the numbers I gave you earlier on about the number of orders and what we're sort of seeing, that throughput, we're starting to see that. And we're not seeing that every day, but what we are doing is we're learning. And each day we learn, we get better. And each day we get better, then we can do the next day even better. So all of these things are sort of linking together. But as I said, please don't forget the link to our sort of mission of being this sort of surplus stock seller really helps us drive the price down and helps us become this sustainable business. So look, until next time, thanks for listening.